Okay, here we go. We are back at Tibalt's Apprentice. This time we're trying yet another one of Strider Stone's decks from Sodium City. There's some fun synergies in here. I had a lot of these cards already, but Approach of the Second Sun is one of my favorite ways to win. I know opinions vary on that greatly, but we kind of decided that Arena is more about winning than the art of, the art of Magic necessarily. The interaction, the gathering is lost here. So, anyhow, nobody cares about that. It's relatively low to the ground. Well, it's a combination of some low to the ground spells to slow them down and tax them. The other cards here, this gives you a chance to either do some damage to them by putting your bigger cards on top, or you get to get a peek at what's upcoming. Later game, they're less likely to have you throw things in the garbage, into the bin, into the graveyard, and things like that manage to take their life total down quickly. So it's a balancing act between what's good and what's not. I have a friend here today. I should be filming this. I have Canelo visiting me, and he's distracting me and sitting in my lap. My sister-in-law's dog. Anyhow, so we'll see how quickly they decide that this deck is not for them. I guess it was just that quick. Having the ley lines in there right from the get-go make this deck somewhat efficient, somewhat discouraging for people to play. This, however, is not. So up against another control deck, I think you're going to find yourself frustrated even getting this on the field. I've got this sped up double time because, spoiler alert, I lose this game. I lose it bad and after a long, drawn-out period. I enjoyed playing it, learning what the synergies were, though, and seeing where you should go with this. But you don't need to set through this whole thing. Try to get this on there, but once they do the Dovin's Veto, and you'll see how they eventually just shut me down. That Rule of Law does work to tax them, to keep them from being able to cast too much on their turn. But, of course, with blue, you always have that ability to cast during the other person's turn, and again on your turn. They're playing white, so that gives them a little bit of removal. They're playing Shieldred, which, for the most part, who isn't playing Shieldred? So, we're going to take a little bit of damage from drawing cards. They're going to gain a little bit of life from drawing cards. And removing that piece of tech from my deck is a bit frustrating. As you see, they've got all four of them now. Settle the Wreckage. Usually get away with that one time. So you play this deck very defensively, obviously. They're drawing as many cards as they can, looking at their deck, going to cherry pick every piece of counterspell that they have. Hello, buddy. You're something else here. He's a needy dog. He needs lots of attention. Anyhow, sorry about that. So, question is, as they go for all the card draw, will they fall for another Settle the Wreckage? I guess the answer is yes. You can climb in my lap then, sir, if you want to get up here that bad. Okay, come here. Up, up, up. Up, up, up. You are a heavy little cuss. Anyhow, so with all the lands they have, not a whole lot of interactions. I will go ahead and put this on the board, and there they get rid of it. They free themselves up to cast all the spells they want. At this point, I think we're going about 8 times the speed, and you see those Planeswalkers coming out, and Lord, I hate those. You already know this. What can I do? Okay, I hear people saying, obviously, get good. What else can I do to get me over my fear and loathing, my hatred of Planeswalkers? Yes, I will play them myself. I feel like I'm forced to. And we've had that discussion. Never mind. There's my contempt. You see that snoring thing, I'm fed up. Anyhow, we'll play the game out, though. Play it out to the end. and see what happens there. It's hard to come back from the overwhelming advantage they have and the control that they have. I should probably just quit the game. Quit the game entirely, you say? Sure, I should probably do that. Quit the game specifically, I probably should have done that too when I saw that I wasn't going to get where I needed to go. Something else that I've learned, I don't like quitting. I don't like quitting even when we're on paper because people assume you're salty or whatever. Not necessarily. I just want to get on to the next game. So anyhow, I don't quit, and I probably should. Should probably move on to a game that I could win. But with this, being able to now take out artifacts, creatures, and got to get the spell off though for it to actually work. And of course, don't counterspell. So moving along, I swear it is worth watching. I swear it is worth playing this deck. It can be a fun deck. This isn't the ideal one, but they are playing theirs. And so now I'm going to die to my own thing. At this point, I can't shut them off. I can't get a spell off. So at this point, it's worth stopping and moving on to the next game. I'm doing 2 out of 3 here. It's obviously absolutely worth playing the deck, though, if you have the mana for it. In the meantime, as always, shop at your LGS if you can. If you can't, go to Dark Ritual and pick up your cards from TCGplayer. Unlike Mirkwood Trader, if you're following on Instagram, they buy their cards anywhere. So anyhow, let's get to this third game and actually see what's going on here. We start off with our ley lines. We have Mana Tithes. This time we're lucky. Oh, you have nasty breath. I got a mouthful of it. Yes, the dog. I've talked about Canelo already. So, up against a rush deck like this, that's okay. I will let them play their next Swiftfoot Spear, and I will then counter the spell that comes after that. The stuff that's going to give everything else prowess. Oh, nope. I'll just counter that creature, though. And I have Teferi's Protection to duck out if I need to. Let's go ahead and make sure to put a stop on there. Oh, sorry. And on their untap upkeep step, we're going to make sure that they can't cast any spells this turn. Is that enough to make them quit? Is it enough to get them angry? You can see how this other game went way too long because with these games, they should be going relatively quick. You're down to 15 life. Putting a third... Actually, I don't need to do that. I'll go to next turn. I will shut them down for their turn, taking another couple points of damage. And then I've got Teferi's Protection after that. Basically, all you're doing is stalling to the point where you can cast that Approach of the Second Sun. Do you need to do that? No. People just give up. I will include the deck list down below. Hope you enjoyed that video. And yeah, good times.